Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show.
This is Seclo Sounds, your community radio station. If you'd like to volunteer some of your time and skills with Seclo Sounds, send an email to volunteers@seclosounds.org and let us know how you would like to be involved. MK Flyers Online, the fast and simple way to find any kind of business or service locally. Find us at mkflyersonline.co.uk or download the MK Flyers mobile app from your app store. MK Flyers Online proudly supports Seclo Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes.
The John Guinn Travel Show. Checking it out before you check in on seclosounds.org. Still to come on the show, the travel news section. And at the moment we're finding out about Miami. Just before the short break we found out that it is a family-friendly destination. But what about spring break, which is probably the most unfriendly, family-friendly part of any destination? It does get a little bit out of hand, and maybe Miami's like that, so we're now going to find out. So it is a family-friendly destination, but what about spring break? Does it get really mad there?
Yes, it does, but it's not. Miami is a destination, for young people and parties, and it's pretty famous for that. Spring break tends to be, they look for cheaper alternative options in terms of. So it's not. Miami wouldn't come as the first or the cheapest option for spring break parties. So they tend to be safe in that sense. What we do get in Miami is the Winter Music Conference, which happens in March, and the Ultra Music Festival, which again is very it's very famous, and it's grown a bit out of control over the last few years, in the sense that it's been so famous that it takes the whole of the Bayside Marketplace, waterfront area. It's drawn crowds, internationally, to a level that is very difficult to handle in terms of noise levels, in terms of not crowd control, but it's pretty big. So you will see when you try to book a hotel in Miami at certain times of the year, it's going to get very challenging with availability. And mid-March, it's going to be one of those times because of that Winter Music Conference, Ultra Music Festival, where you've got DJs from all over the world performing, plus all the different sets that DJs would do at venues, on the beach, at hotels, etc. So it's a good time of year to go, but it will be challenging if you're in your 20s and you like your festivals, Glastonbury, Fan, etc. That might be one for you. If you're a family, just avoid that particular time of year.
Yeah, I'll be going to the beaches in my pyjamas, telling them to turn it down. I can see myself doing that.
Step into the spotlight with me, Lucy, every Wednesday between 6 and 7 p.m. on Seclo Sounds. I'll have new music, the latest entertainment news, and interviews with local bands. If you're in a band, or if you have music that you think I should be playing, I'd love to hear from you. Email me, lucy@seclosounds.org, and join me every Wednesday from 6 till 7 for Spotlight on Seclo Sounds.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Earlier in this Miami special, I said that I have trouble pronouncing some words, and perhaps sometimes it's better to be a writer than a speaker. And while we're going to be finding out about shopping in Miami in a few seconds, I'll give a massive example right at the very beginning of why sometimes it's better for me to be able to write things than to pronounce them. You've already said about shopping in Miami, it's a good place to go. I saw there's something called Espanol, or what's Espanol?
Espanol Away.
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, what's that?
That's the one. Yeah, that's one of the areas all around. So you've got Lincoln Road, Espanol Away, Washington Avenue. But between Lincoln Road and Espanol Way is sort of a shopping district in South Beach. It's pedestrian. You've got lots of shops, lots of different all the major brands, etc. But it's quite nice because it's a pedestrian area.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally 5 minutes from the waterfront from Ocean Drive. So it's perfect combination to your typical day in South Beach, where you've got all your bars and restaurants, all the people watching in the world, and then lots of shopping, etc. And then of course the biggest mall in South Florida is the Ventura Mall, which is North Miami. And that's miles and miles and miles of shopping. So it's always a good one to get lost in and spend a few dollars. And then just in case you forgot, something before you come back to the UK, there's the Dolphin Mall, which is very close to the Miami International Airport, so you could still stop on the way before getting on the flight.
That's handy. I always forget to get presents, so that's
Exactly.
where I'll be going. Some of the larger New York stores, they have a discount card for tourists. Does anybody in Miami offer anything similar?
They do have some discount booklets that you can get. Ventura Mall, for example, has got something like that. The Bayside Marketplace shopping area's got something similar. I'm not sure about Coco Walk in Coconut Grove, but yeah, there's a few options to get cheaper prices or good deals. There's also something that that is worth mentioning when you think about Miami.
Mm-hmm.
There's a website called MiamiTemptations.com. And that's a program that the city of Miami is involved in, with having a theme every month, a different theme, which could be, shop Miami, which could be sports Miami, which could be museums, attractions, etc. And then you will have a list of selected partners, which would, given any month during the year, which would have the best deals available. So, for example, for the most popular months in terms of UK visitation, July, August, and September. July, August would be spa month, and August, September would be restaurant month.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, John, if you want to go, I would probably advise August or September.
Okay.
And if you go on that website, you will see a list of the different restaurants in Miami participating in the restaurant month. It's called the Spice Restaurant Month. And you can get a chef's menu. We've got lots of very, very famous chefs in Miami. You can have a chef's menu for a very, very good price. It's things like $22 for a three-course lunch or $35 for a dinner. So it's a very good thing to remember. So it's MiamiTemptations.com. And as I said, lots of different, a theme different every month.
Yeah, I've written down the website. I'll be going there for the restaurants. Don't worry about that.
There you go.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. We're coming up to the last section of my interview with Guillaume about Miami, and we've already heard about the beaches, that it's safe to swim. There's loads of beaches to choose from, and the beaches' characteristics depend really on the hotels that are beachfront. And it is somewhere you can go if you want to do a bit of nightlife. But we found out earlier that it's the cruise capital of the world, and some people do fly in a few days early before they catch their cruise, which personally I think is a great idea. I don't understand why anybody would fly in the same day they're meant to depart on a cruise. That's leaving yourself open for far too many problems, and that would just make me stress all the whole flight. So if somebody is sensible and they fly in to Miami a couple of days before their cruise, what should they see and do? We're now going to find out, and also a bit more about the annual events. And there will be some websites mentioned, and these will be posted at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. You said that it's the cruise capital, and some people fly in a few days early before they get their cruise. What should they do in those 2 days they have before they sail off?
Right. It's very common. We've got lots of different cruise lines, and we've got usually a 2-night pre or post cruise stay. So as I said, people would definitely, I would advise people to stay in either South Beach or downtown, so on either side of the Port of Miami. That way they can experience and everything Miami is all about from at their doorstep. If it's the first time in Miami, definitely do the day trip to the Everglades National Park. There's also another national park in Miami called Biscayne National Park. Lots of waterways where you can go and see the manatees. If you are with children, definitely the Seaquarium to check out. Back to what I was saying at the beginning, depending on what your tastes are, go and see one of those neighborhoods. It could be Wynwood for the street art. It could be Cali Ocho for the Cuban influence. It could be Coconut Grove, Coral Gables, or just spend some time on the beach if you're on the Miami Beach side. But quite a it's if you're staying 2 nights, that you would have time to do pretty much all of that.
Okay. You've already said about mid-March and the music conference. Is there any other annual events there?
We've got a few. As I said, it's a year-round destination, so you will have a great time whenever you go. Events, the biggest event right now, at the beginning of December, is the Arts Basel, which is North America's largest art fair. And every year, that's how Wynwood became popular, because that's when the art fair is in Miami during Art Basel, that all these artists came and did the street art on the Wynwood walls. It's very, very difficult to get availability at the beginning of December because of that reason. Then in January, mid-January, there's a very nice festival called the Art Deco Festival in South Beach, where they close Ocean Drive. It becomes pedestrian